What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Mathews back at it again with another hometown take. Today I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks because it is draft night eve, y'all. And there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of reports swirling around what the Atlanta Hawks will do. Will they make a big blockbuster draft night trade? We gonna find out soon enough. Time will tell. Who's gonna be on the roster? Time will tell who's gonna be on the roster. It may not be John Collins, but we're gonna find out, y'all. But I'm gonna get into if the Hawks do make a big draft night trade to move up in the draft, could they draft a certain combo guard? We're gonna talk about it. But before we do that, make sure you guys like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. Check out the first link in my description box to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel, help fuel the Atlanta Hawks to a great off season. So, you know, we gotta make some moves, gotta make some things shake. So we're gonna see what happens. But buy me a coffee if you can to help fuel this channel. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. Oh, actually, before we get right into the video, turn on your notification bells as well so you get my content as soon as I drop it. Don't miss a single video, single live stream, none of that. So make sure your notification bells are turned on as well. Now we can get right into the video. So, it's been talked about the Atlanta Hawks could very well try to trade up with the Sacramento Kings and get up to the number 4 overall pick. Now, there's been reports that they might try to draft Dyson Daniels. I did a video on him a couple of days ago, so check that out if you haven't already. But there are also reports that if the Hawks move up to the number 4 overall pick, they could try to go after Purdue guard Jaden Ivey. That's right, Jaden Ivey. There's a lot of good things about Jaden Ivey, and we're gonna get into it. But the first question I want to pose to you guys is, should the Hawks move up, one, and if they do move up, do you like the idea of them drafting Jaden Ivey? I am not against it. I, though, am more in the camp of I want them to go ahead. If you're going to make this big move, you're going to give up assets, do it to get someone who's already established. Do it to get a person that we already know what we're going to get. So that's my thing. That's my 2 cents. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Jaden Ivey. So Jaden Ivey out of Purdue, spent 2 years at Purdue. We're going to go ahead and get into his numbers a little bit. So Jaden Ivey, 6'4", 195. He has a 6'10" wingspan. In the 2020-2021 season with Purdue, he averaged 11.1 points per game, almost 2 assists per game, 3.3 rebounds, shot 72% from the free throw line, only 25% from the three-point line, 50% from two-point range, but only 39% from the field overall, with 24.2 minutes per game, played in 12 games, or started 12 games, played in 23 games. But Jaden Ivey made a big jump in this 2021-2022 season this past year. Averaged 17.3 points per game, so jumped from 11.1 to 17.3. Went from 1.9 assists to 3.1 assists per game. Went from 3.3 total rebounds to 4.9 total rebounds, almost a 2 rebound jump there. And shot 74% from the free throw line, so went up to 72 to 74. This is another big jump as well. He shot 25% from 3 in his freshman year, all the way up to 35% in his sophomore year. So made a huge jump, was working on that jumper, and it showed in his sophomore year. Went up from 50% to 53% from two-point range, and 46% overall shooting from the field in his sophomore season as well. Started 34 out of 36 games that he played in. So, you know, obviously he was a starter, 31 minutes per game as well. So a huge jump for Jaden Ivey from his freshman to his sophomore year, and that's why he's going to end up being a top 5 pick in this year's draft most likely. So you hear the numbers. Let's get a little bit of what he does well and what he doesn't do so well. So the main great thing that Jaden Ivey does is he's a very explosive athlete. He is a great finisher at the rim, and his slashing ability has been compared to John Morant and Zach LaVine. And, ooh, I like that. I like those comparisons. Overall comparisons, he draws comparisons to Victor Oladipo and Donovan Mitchell. Again, you can't help but love to hear those comparisons. My ears perk up and anytime I hear comparisons like that. So he has great acceleration on or off the ball, and he does not shy away from contact either. He'll get right up into your chest. He don't care how big you are, what kind of defender you are. He's going right at you, going right at your chest, looking for some contact, and he's going to finish at the rim as well. And, oh, don't think he's not a posterizer. He will posterize you too because he's bouncy. He will dunk on you as well. So, great finisher, great athlete. He's got bounce. He'll dunk on you. And like I said, when he's penetrating, he takes it right into the defender's chest. He's not shying away from contact. Good finisher as well. And with all that driving to the rim, slashing to the rim, you know he's getting some foul calls. That whistle's blowing. Last year with Purdue, he drew 5.8 foul shots per game. And like I said, solid free throw shooter. Could get a little bit better. I'm sure he will get a little bit better in the league. Last season, like I said, shot 74.4% from the free throw line. And again, good at contorting his body mid-air. That's why he's such a good finisher. He can contort his body in air to make some great finishes and play through the contact that he faces mid-air. But not also is he a great athlete. Not only is he dunking on you, but he's got some handles too. Got a nice tight handle. We talked about his mid-air adjustments. So his acceleration with the basketball allows him to fly right past defenders as well. He's got a quick first step that opens the door for a bevy of penetrations and isolation attacks. So that'll make him viable in pick and roll situations. He'll be very good in pick and rolls because he can either go right by you or dish it off to a big man or whoever and get the assist there. So he uses his speed to catch defenders off guard with a nice cross jab move. Also has a nice moving hesitation move with a nice pullback that can quickly shift the pace of play. Also, he uses between the leg moves to station himself for drive. So he'll go between the legs a couple times, then hit you with the nice cross jab and get right by you. And then he's to the bucket to get a bucket, you dig? So he's got a much improved jump shot like we talked about. 3-point percentage went up 10% from his freshman year to his sophomore year. His release could be a little bit quicker, but again, with his tight ball handling and the way he can penetrate and get to the basket, defenders got to think twice when they're thinking about how fast they're going to close out on him, because you close out too hard, you don't come with a good closeout, he's just going to go right by you. He's going to kill you with the pump fake, and then he's going to be by you. So he's a chase down artist as well. You know, with the athleticism, that goes both ways, just not on the offensive end, it's on the defensive end as well. So he's good for a nice couple chase down blocks a game, so he can do that as well. Great in transition. He's either going to find an open target if he's got the numbers, or if the defense has the numbers, he's good at finding the trailer, or he'll just finish at the rim all by himself. All right, so those are the good things about Jaden Ivey. Also, he's great at ISO ball. Didn't get to do too much ISO ball at Purdue because, you know, his centers kind of had to take up the paint, so that didn't really open up the floor for him. But when he gets to the league, things are going to be more spaced out. He's going to be really good in isolation situations, Jaden Ivey is. So, I mean, he pretty much has all the tools on offense. But we'll get into one major thing he needs to work on offense, and really this could really make or break if he's going to be like a perennial all-star and, you know, a supermax type of player, or if he's just going to be a good role player. You know, there's one key factor that I'm going to give you here in a second. Weaknesses, though. He does sometimes get tunnel vision when he's doing the pick and roll, when he's driving. Sometimes, you know, he's looking solely just to score, not keeping his eyes up and looking for open targets. And some of that was accredited to he didn't have very good centers at Purdue. So the defenders always just dropped back on the centers, and so he had to make a play by himself. So obviously he's going to be playing with much better bigs when he gets to the league. So hopefully that will alleviate some of that, you know, tunnel vision that he has, and he'll trust his teammates more, because I think most of that was he didn't trust his teammates. But he does need to have a little bit better court vision, get rid of that tunnel vision. His screen defense also does need some work. He got caught going under a lot of screens during his time at Purdue. Obviously, you go under screens in the NBA, you're giving up a lot of three-point shots and some three-point makes for sure. So he's going to have to find a way to get over some screens. And, you know, with his wingspan, 6'10 wingspan, he should be good at getting over screens. So that's coaching. He'll get coached up. I'm sure that'll get worked out in no time. So he'll learn real quick that you either go over screens or you're going to get put on the bench if you go under too many screens. So there you go. Now, the key factor to Jaden Ivey's career and what it could be, because the ceiling for this dude, he could be number 1, number 2 option, perennial all-star type of player, but what he's gonna need to do is develop a consistent mid-range jumper. His mid-range jump shot was not very good at Purdue, and the main reason for it is that, you know, he's moving so fast, he's such a good athlete, he's so quick on and off the ball. A lot of times the defenders would back up on him, and so he'll take a little stop and pop jumper, but he's moving so fast, he's not very good at hitting the brakes. And then when he's trying to jump up, stop and pop, do a stop and pop jump shot, the release gets kind of funky because his mechanics aren't good, because he's not decelerating the way he needs to. So that's going to be the main thing for Jaden Ivey. You know, get in the gym, get your little cone, run around that cone at full speed and stop and pop and start knocking down those jump shots, because if he adds that to his game, Jaden Ivey is a pure 3-level scorer. So, you know, how do you guys feel about the Hawks trading up to draft Jaden Ivey? Do you want to give up all those assets to get, you know, a potential Donovan Mitchell or a potential Zach LaVine 2.0, or do you want to use those assets to maybe get Donovan Mitchell? Zach LaVine's probably re-signing with the Bulls, but you get what I'm saying. Do you want to use those assets to, you know, draft somebody who could be that, but you don't know for sure, or do you want to use those assets to get somebody who is already established? I would use those assets to get somebody that's already established, because to get the number 4 overall pick, are you giving up John Collins? Are you having to give up Bogey too? Like, what are you having to give up to get that just potential and not even get somebody established? So that's what Travis Schlenk and Landry Fields are going to have to rack their brains around, but we'll see what happens tomorrow night. Time's gonna tell, and the time is ticking. But guys, make sure you like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, check out the link down below. To buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel, help fuel the Atlanta Hawks to a great off season. Turn on your notification bells, and until I talk to you guys next time, make sure you stay true to Atlanta, believe in Atlanta, go Hawks. Peace.